On an icy night in Greenland, a drone flies over a frozen landscape. But in such cold temperatures, its battery will likely only last a few minutes, rendering it useless. As the Arctic region increasingly comes into the geopolitical spotlight, governments are scrambling to find solutions. And the industry is working at pace to develop the technology to endure such glacial conditions. Using drones in the world's far north is problematic. Only the largest, long-range models have enough power for the anti-icing systems planes use. Cold, fog, rain, or snow can cause a malfunction or a crash in smaller models.
Icing on a drone reduces the performance. It can reduce the endurance, but it can also lead to crashes.
This is where aerospace aerodynamics engineer Joachim Wallisch comes in. In a wind tunnel in Finland, he's testing ways to help these vulnerable drones operate in freezing temperatures.
So we hope to learn how to best design an ice protection system for a wing so that it can work on multiple different designs, that it uses as little energy as possible to remove the ice completely from the wing.
Many of the cheaper models can be bought on the open market, but the Ukraine conflict has revealed their limitations in winter. Large, long-range drones that operate like airplanes can cost more than $200 million each. So, governments and large aerospace firms are turning to startups and small companies for innovative solutions, a NATO source told Reuters. So, why here in particular? Well, the Arctic is a vast region where radar and satellite coverage are limited. Countries in the far north have been reporting more acts of sabotage on energy and communications lines. Russia and China have stepped up military activity in the area. And the United States sees the region as crucial for territorial defense and its early warning system against nuclear attacks. A Reuters survey of 14 companies and 6 defense ministries and armed forces in Northern Europe and America revealed a focus on procuring drones. Russia took an early lead in the race. Its military began building up a drone fleet in the Arctic in 2014 and has only advanced since then. Drone expert James Patton Rogers acts as a policy advisor to NATO and the UN.
When it comes down to the more advanced medium altitude, long endurance systems, due to the fact that anything that flies up that high has to sustain extreme weather conditions, then it is the West, it is the European powers and the United States that has that advantage. And that is quite clear. But due to Russian innovations with the war in Ukraine, I'd say that when it comes down to the smaller systems at the tactical level, it is likely the case that Russia has the advantage there.
Nations with territory in the region are boosting military spending and drawing up plans to buy winter-proof drones, budgeting tens or hundreds of millions of dollars. New NATO member Finland has been a first mover, using unmanned aerial vehicles to patrol its border with Russia and protect the alliance's northeastern flank. Norway says it will invest in long-range surveillance drones for a planned Arctic base, and Sweden has said it plans to scale up capabilities in the area without giving details.
Drones are currently being used to have a persistent overwatch above key areas of strategic interest for European allied and Arctic Western powers. These are unarmed drones, let's be very clear, that can not only survey over towards the Arctic and that ever-increasing importance of the Northern Sea Route, which is being utilized by both Russia and China for global trade in and out of the Arctic regions, but they're also strategically placing them so that these drones can also keep a watchful eye to Russia, more towards Europe, more towards the Baltic and out towards Ukraine.
As military activity steps up in the Arctic, drones will become increasingly relied upon for surveillance. But until they can easily withstand the harsh conditions, the race to develop and fund new technology will remain crucial.